Hello, it's your girl Big Red Cotton coming at you live and direct. Today is Wednesday, September 13th, and this is the first legitimate Wednesday installment. This is the first week that I am beginning this endeavor where I will be coming to you on Wednesdays to talk about all things New Orleans street culture. So the second lines, the brass bands, the Mardi Gras Indians, bounce music, all of our great indigenous art forms from New Orleans. I'm going to talk to you about them and share my insights and information. Um, my full name is Deborah Big Red Cotton, and I've been living in New Orleans for about 12 years, and I've been covering the local scene that many years, particularly focusing on the Culture Bear community for the past 8 years. I've been filming Second Lines since 2008. And here on my channel on Big Red Cotton, you can find pretty much uh, footage from every social aid and pleasure club in the city. I have footage from their annual parades on this channel. I'm proud to say I have um, gosh, over 800 videos, close to 1,000, but I still have some that I need to put up. But so yeah, I go out every Sunday, um, 4 hours long. In the summertime, they run from 12 to 4. In the wintertime, it's 1 to 5. And you've just gotta come here to experience it in person. Seeing it on video is one thing, but it is really something else to be in the wave of a second line with all of the power and the energy and the music and the percussion and the people singing and dancing and moving together as one unit. It's so exciting. I love it. Um, so I'm going to answer a couple of questions, just some background information about what it is that I cover, what it is that I do. Actually, yesterday I announced here on my channel that I am selling my first DVD. It's a compilation of some of the best videos on Second Lines that I've filmed since I started filming them. The DVD looks like this. It's um, it's over an hour's worth of really good footage, and so people are asking me what can you expect to see with these videos. So a couple of things. One of my favorite elements to capture when I'm filming the parades is the initial debut when the clubs, it's called coming out the door. And it's a big moment when the club who's hosting the parade for that day come bursting out of the doors with the band that's playing already in the background, trumpeting, heralding that, the clubs are coming. And the clubs generally keep the colors of their suits for each year a secret. So you don't know when we're waiting for them to come out of the door what they're going to look like. And it's a competition between all the clubs. Who can look the flyest? Whose suit is most on point this year? So, and you'll see some fantastic color combinations, emerald green and cobalt blue, or pink and chocolate, and it's fantastic. And they have the suits and the parasols and the baskets and the banners and the shoes, the handmade Italian leather shoes that are gorgeous. So in my DVD, I have captured a couple of my favorite clubs coming out of the door and the spectacular show that they put on. So that's one of the elements that you'll see. Also, um, so this tradition. It has so many elements, and if you're new to it, you don't live here, you go to your second line for the first time, you can tell all of this crazy stuff is going on, and you don't really know how to interpret it. So I have pulled various what I feel are like the exciting moments during the parade to represent those in this DVD. So, for instance, the sidewalk. Now, the clubs that are hosting the parade, they are in front of the band dancing, usually have ropes cordoning them off. So they have ropes on either side, and the club members are inside the ropes, and they're dancing, moving forward with the band behind them. But alongside the ropes are people dancing and moving forward, going forward with the parade. And some of the best dancers in the second line scene are on the sidewalk. And as we're moving forward, they have their own like footwork show going on, and a lot of them are battle dancing. Footwork is going like on fire. People, are looking at the club members and what they're doing, but they're also like watching and monitoring the sidewalk and how the sidewalk is like on fire. So sometimes, it's almost like I liken it to being in the ocean, and you're riding this wave, and you look over and you see these like dolphins, and they are like moving in sync with one another, and they're moving forward. And that's kind of like what you see when you are watching the sidewalk element. So I have a couple of really fun sidewalk dance battles, is what I call them, that are represented in the DVD as well. And then there are certain people that are just the stars of the show every week. And some of them are in clubs, some of them are not in clubs. They just love the culture, but they don't parade with any one club. They just are out there every Sunday. So you'll see some of those people. Shalonda Adams is one of my favorites. She's been parading with Lady Buck Jumpers for about 10 years. Also, Isha, she's with the Divine Ladies. She's so over the top, like amazing. Her footwork is just like unparalleled. Nobody else touching her, period. And who are the others? Oh gosh, Tyree and Eric Gordon, who is a trumpeter. He plays with the Stooges and TBC, but he's got really elegant footwork. So I have a lot of footage of just these, what I call footwork masters, and just them tearing it up in the streets. So we've got that. And then I also captured a couple of really fun competitions in some nightclubs with people doing second line battles. So, and we've got some of everybody represented, even people with physical disabilities. In one of my clips, one of the guys, his name is Scully. He is wheelchair bound, and he parades with the Uptown Swingers. And he's got footwork. He's not necessarily on his feet. He's in his wheelchair, but he is incredible in what he's able to do in his wheelchair. So I've got guys like him. A friend of mine, Kev. He only has one arm. I'm not sure what the accident is, but anyway, he is a constant, regular feature on the second line scene. And I'm telling you, the guy does not have any gravity. I mean, he is just so light as a feather. It's really fantastic to watch him dance. So he's in it. And so you see some of the Gerald Plattenberg. He parades with 9 times, which comes out of the 9th Ward. And at any given time, you can look up and he'll be on top of a telephone pole or on top of a traffic light, really, like on top of it, dancing on rooftops, just nut stuff. Scubble is another really incredible dancer, and you'll see him a lot on my channel, and he is regularly on rooftops dancing. It's just it's incredible. Excuse me, I gotta getting parched here. So I introduce you to some of my favorite footwork masters, is what I like to call them. And then, just some other fun moments that happen spontaneously on the second lines. Like one of the clips is one winter's day in the last hour of the parade. The whole parade just went into doing the bus stop together. So the band, I don't even remember what song they were playing. I think it was a Frankie Beverly and Mays song. And the entire parade began to do the bus stop. And it was so fun and gorgeous, and the sun was shining, and those December days with the great sunlight, and it's warm, and it was like that. So yeah, so got that in there as well, and then other than that, there's just a lot of various just really fun clips. Also, I focus on, there are a couple of men's clubs that just excel in terms of showmanship. They come out and they have, like YMO, for instance. They come out in these fez hats and they have canes, and it's black and white. This is during their anniversary parade, and they're just elegant. And you've got like 20, 30 black men between the ages of anywhere from 15 to 80. And they are parading in the streets, silk socks, pulling up their pant legs to show footwork with these elegant, silk socks and handmade Italian leather shoes, and just really beautiful stuff. So you will see all of that, and as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by this computer cutting off. Please order your Footwork Masters Volume 1 DVD for the low, low price of $10, $3.99 shipping and handling, so that's $13.99 in total. The link to my PayPal account where you can order your copies is below in the comment box. And what else? A couple of other questions that I've been asked to weigh in on. One is, what do people think of this sort of new phenomena that is kind of a post-Katrina new thing, habit, or trend that's happening, where tourists are hiring bands and doing their own second lines through the French Quarter, bachelor parties and weddings and graduations and whatnot. And I've talked to. I'm not in a social aid and pleasure club, but I cover extensively the club life, and very good friends with a lot of members, and talk to them a great deal about how they perceive a lot of the changes that have taken place with regards to the culture and the ritual and the tradition. Post Katrina, we just have a lot more people coming here, visiting, moving here than ever was before. And I think the people that I talk to, are fine with people not from here doing a second line. No one is really feeling like being that much of a purist that the only legitimate second line is with a social aid pleasure club and a brass band and ropes and suits and banners. And no, there are all kinds of second lines. You do need to know how to conduct yourself and how to behave when you are at a second line that a club hosts. I do see from time to time people not from here taking certain liberties during the parades that come across as disrespectful and pushy. Like, for instance, jumping inside the rope and taking pictures and filming without asking permission. On the other side of the rope, outside of the rope, fine. But if you're going to step inside the ropes of someone's parade, you need to, get clearance to do that first, because you basically are putting yourself as part of the parade now, and it's distracting, and it's not a good look. People don't like it; they don't appreciate it. So stay in your lane, stay on the outside of the the rope, and during stops, people sometimes walk up and, without asking permission, take pictures of the club members, because their suits are so beautiful, and they, are there, um, sort of entertaining the crowd, but it still, warrants you asking permission, introducing yourself, and asking if you can take a picture or with them or of them. So that's, what I would say in terms of newcomers or visitors trying to assume the tradition, or trying it on for size, or doing it as a one-off for, the sake of your own entertainment. That's fine. It's just, make sure that just use common sense, really. And if something isn't clear, it's best to ask than to, make assumptions. And because this is a very old and sacred tradition, and you just want to pay homage to that, and pay attention to your host environment. Another question that I have been getting is, what do I think of, these big. We had a big second line here for David Bowie after he passed, and I guess there was criticism from, I don't know, local parties that thought it was inappropriate because he's not from here and he has really nothing to do with second line culture. But most people that I know in the second line world, in social and pleasure clubs community, aren't offended by anything like that. I mean, when Michael Jackson passed, I mean, every club and every band turned out for the second line that was organized for him. And I'm telling you, it was huge and hot. It was a grueling parade, but everyone showed up in to honor him. And he, I don't know if he ever set foot in New Orleans. And I never heard him, mentioning New Orleans, or, acknowledging our culture and traditions. But nonetheless, he is a member of our musical community, and everyone, loves him and what he gave us. So, that second line for him. Same thing with Prince. When he passed, we had a second line for him. And you just do that. Ed Bradley from 60 Minutes, he used to come here quite a bit. He loved New Orleans and Jazz Fest. That was his, annual treat, that he would come here. And so when he passed, they organized a really big second line in his honor. It was very nice. So, again, the second line is for everyone. Just, make sure that when you see, people leading it or hosting it, that just pay them respect and treat them, as respectful as you would want to be treated. That's, my advice, or, sort of comment. And what's the other? Let's see. What else is on my plate right now? Well, I am planning on doing a volume 2, another DVD. So I have a lot of really good footwork clips of parades, really fun, interesting things that you can only see in New Orleans. Matter of fact, I have a clip that I'm very proud of called Only in New Orleans. If you go into my channel and you search that title, you will find one of my favorite videos where we stopped in front of a house, and all of these people rush the porch. And that's another ritual during the second lines, is that you see people will like mash up on a porch, and everyone is second lining, and everything from little boys to drag queens to big girls to just some of everybody, but everybody that has footwork, just up there just knocking. So, so that's definitely going to make the next cut of the DVD that I put in. So, got another DVD in the works. I also am trying to figure out how to incorporate, I would like to do some live broadcasts from the second line using these new apps like Periscope, which I really like. And so I need to try to figure out how I can film and be, the broadcasting and giving people sort of a live, and direct experience of the second line. One of my ideas is to during the parade stops is to interview some of the club members, a la Joan Rivers, and talk to them about their suits, how they chose the colors, what was the theme, what inspired them to, create the look that they have for this year. Every year, the clubs really take a lot of time and effort to create a provocative and iconic look. So some of the best clubs to do it are the Revolution. I love them. They have 2 costume changes or suit changes. Okay. So some of my favorite clubs in terms of the suits and their ensembles. We've got the Revolution, Divine Ladies. They slay every year. I mean, the Angie, the president and founder, she is above and beyond one of the most creative leaders in the second line community. And every year their suits are impeccable and their presentation is flawless. So so I during my broadcast, I'm going to be talking to the clubs about how they chose their attire and what was the inspiration behind it, and what else? Oh, one other idea or one other thing in the queue is I'm going to have a parade tracker this year, so that at any given time while the parade is going on, you can go online and find out where we are. So they're 4 hours long, and sometimes you have to create strategies to find the parade if you didn't start when it first like goes out the door. I mean, you have the route, but you've got to be a pretty good sleuth to track the parade without a parade tracker. And during Mardi Gras, we have these great parade trackers. All the TV stations have them, so you can find out where any of the crews are parading at any given time. So I do plan on rolling one out later this year, and you just have to stay tuned. I have some other really fun new projects that are in the works for Second Line and Mardi Gras Indian culture, enjoyment of the culture. So that's it. I thank you for tuning in. And if you have any questions, you can email me at bigredcotton@gmail.com, or you can post your questions below in the comments section, and I will try to answer them in next week's installment. Coming up this Sunday is Goodfellas Social Aid and Pleasure Club. They are parading. It's going to be from 1 to 5. It's a men's division and a kids division. So it's, and they are real fun. And actually, Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, I will be on WBOK Radio, which is a AM station here in New Orleans, and I'm going to be talking to some of the people that are putting on from the Goodfellas, some of the members, um, and yeah, so that'll be fun. You can if you can't get them on the radio, you can go online, WBOK AM. I think it's 12:30 are the numbers. And check us out on Friday from 3 to 4. And then this coming Sunday from 1 to 5, Goodfellas. The route will be posted on my Big Red Cotton fan page on Facebook and Big Red Cotton on Twitter. And the Gambit, which is our arts and entertainment magazine here in New Orleans. I post the parade route on their blog. So, no excuse for not knowing where it is. And holla at your girl. Thanks for supporting my channel. And thanks in advance for buying one of my DVDs. And I will see you at the second line.